Imagine this. In the heart of 18th century Paris, hundreds of cats were hunted, tortured, and killed, not out of fear, not for food, but as revenge. A bizarre act of rebellion so twisted, historians still debate its meaning. This is the story of the Great Cat Massacre, a moment when anger, cruelty, and class resentment exploded in one of the strangest protests in history. Welcome to Chronoclips, where history's darkest moments come back to life. Paris, 1730s, a city alive with art, wealth, and whispers of revolution. But beneath the glittering chandeliers and perfume of the bourgeoisie, the streets smelled of sweat, bread, and injustice. Apprentices, young, poor workers in print shops and workshops, endured brutal conditions. They worked long hours, slept on cold floors, and were fed scraps while their masters dined lavishly upstairs. And in one printing house, their frustration found a target that no one expected. Their masters adored their cats. These animals lounged on soft cushions, ate better meals than the workers, and were treated like royalty. But to the apprentices, exhausted, hungry, and humiliated, the cats became living symbols of everything wrong with their world. Night after night, the men were kept awake by the master's cats howling and screeching on the rooftops. One evening, a group of apprentices decided they'd had enough. They set out to silence the cats. But what began as mischief turned into something far darker. Under the moonlight, the apprentices began rounding up every cat they could find. They lured them with food, trapped them in sacks, and brought them back to the workshop courtyard. What followed was horrifying. They staged what they called a mock trial, accusing the cats of witchcraft, theft, and keeping the apprentices awake. The laughter of the crowd echoed as the trial turned into slaughter. Dozens, then hundreds of cats were killed, some belonging to their masters. When morning came, the apprentices bragged about what they'd done, and shockingly, their masters laughed. They saw it as clever satire, a joke about social order. But beneath the laughter lay rage. Centuries later, historians like Robert Darnton studied the event and discovered it wasn't just cruelty, it was a coded protest. In a world where workers couldn't fight their bosses directly, the apprentices attacked what their masters loved most. The cats weren't just animals, they were symbols of luxury, privilege, and power. This was a rebellion disguised as laughter, a social uprising hidden in a joke, a glimpse of the anger that would one day ignite the French Revolution. So what do you think? Was the Cat Massacre of Paris just a cruel prank, or the first meow of revolution? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. And if you love exploring the strangest, darkest, and most unbelievable moments in history, subscribe to Chronoclips, where every story reminds us that truth is often stranger than fiction.